I don't really know how to screen record my laptop or anything. So, with the audio, I have spent 2 hours trying to figure it out. So I'm just gonna record my screen with my phone if that's okay. But this is my presentation over Galileo and how he discovered the telescope and in his trial for Western Civ. It's over the telescope and the trial, how Galileo changed the universe, and how one man's vision challenged the heavens and the church. If you can't tell, I'm sick. I'm sorry. You and I will both have to deal with it. I'm just trying to get through this. Alright, let's go. Alright, in my first slide I have my thesis, which is Galileo's use of the telescope in defense of heliocentrism, and how it revolutionized astronomy and symbolized the conflict between science and religious authority. In this presentation, I'll show you how Galileo's use of the telescope sparked a revolution in astronomy and brought him face to face with one of the most powerful institutions in history, which is the Catholic Church. And these words, I don't really know how to pronounce that, are famously attributed to Galileo after he was forced to deny what he knew to be true, that the earth moves around the sun. His discoveries: in 1609, Galileo built a telescope powerful enough to study the heavens. What he saw was groundbreaking. He discovered moons orbiting Jupiter and sunspots on the sun and the phases of Venus, all evidence that contradicted the old idea that Earth was the center of the universe. In the trial of Galileo in 1633, he published dialogue concerning the two chief world systems. Although he claimed neutrality, the book clearly favored the heliocentric view. It was popular and controversial, especially among church leaders, which brings us into his trial. In 1633, Galileo was summoned by the Roman Catholic Inquisition. He was accused of heresy, forced to publicly recant his support for heliocentrism, and sentenced to house arrest for the rest of his life. The trial became a powerful symbol of tension between scientific evidence and religious doctrine. And then his legacy that he left behind. Galileo's ideas lived on. His work laid the foundation for modern science and the scientific method. Over 350 years, in 1992, Pope John Paul II formally acknowledged that Galileo had been right. Galileo is now remembered not just as a brilliant astronomer, but as a hero of intellectual freedom. And my conclusion is that his telescope opened the heavens, and his courage opened minds. Galileo's discoveries reshaped how we see the universe. His courage in defending evidence over authority laid the foundation for modern science. And then I left a little quote by him. Thank you.